One leading school of thought about the future of leadership may surprise you, because it revolves around the notion that a leader should have both masculine and feminine traits. Proponents of this theory point to studies which have shown that companies with gender-diverse boards outperform their strictly male counterparts. They also bring up Abraham Lincoln, who is said to have possessed this particular combination of traits, that is, merging masculine attributes like strength of purpose and tenacity with feminine ones such as empathy, openness, and the willingness to nurture others. Lincoln scholars claim these qualities were central to his practice of great leadership. On another but related front, a consumer survey of 64,000 people in 13 countries conducted by John Cressema, a New York Times best-selling author and well-known corporate consultant, revealed that 2/3 believe the world would be a better place if men thought more like women. The survey also asked them to characterize 125 human traits as male, female, or neutral, and then indicate which were most desirable for modern leaders. At the top of the list were empathy, being sensitive to the thoughts and feelings of others; vulnerability, owning up to one's limitations and asking for help; humility, seeking to serve others and to share credit; inclusiveness, soliciting and listening to many voices; generosity, being liberal with time, contacts, advice, and support; balance, giving life as well as work its due; patience, taking a long-term view. All of these, along with many other top traits, were identified by the respondents as feminine. But let's be clear, we're not talking about changing who you are as a person. Rather, we're talking about being aware of and informed by this broader range of leadership attributes. Again, we can turn to Lincoln as an example. Though he was decidedly gritty, scholars also talk of his humility, inclusiveness, generosity, and empathy. They say he made time for people of all stations who approached him with their troubles. What makes these observations interesting, claim the experts, especially now, has to do with the way leadership has evolved and is evolving to improve effectiveness. They use a timeline to illustrate the path of this progression. As a point of departure, it starts with the command and control style through roughly the 1980s. Also referred to as the age of autocracy, it's when leaders like Oracle's Larry Ellison models himself on samurai as he attacks competitors and pushes employees to the limit. There's also Michael Eisner, who drives up Disney's stock price while driving employees crazy with his micromanagement. The next stage is empower and track in the 1990s to mid-2000s. It's referred to as the age of empowerment. Howard Schultz's expansion plans for Starbucks, for instance, relied on store-level employees making decisions based on knowledge of their regions. Meg Whitman took over eBay, a company whose business model is all about autonomy. It required her to trust people while insisting on integrity. The next stage, which happens to be at the present time, is connect and nurture. Not too surprisingly dubbed the age of nurture, Whole Foods' John Mackey contributes $100,000 annually to a fund for workers with personal struggles. Tony Hsieh enshrines honesty, humility, and weirdness among Zappos' core values. The Holy Grail in business today, wrote Lee Buchanan, an editor-at-large for Inc. magazine, is engagement. Employees' energy, enthusiasm, and commitment to their companies. She says numerous studies show that engagement has a powerful effect not only on productivity, but also on profitability and customer metrics. The most recent Towers-Watson Global Workforce Study suggests that a key ingredient to engagement is an employer who promotes physical, emotional, and social well-being. WorldBlue's list of the most democratic companies, those who score high for cultivating engagement, shines the spotlight on Zappos, New Belgium Brewing, and Great Harvest Bread. Another related idea comes from Adam Grant, a professor at the University of Pennsylvania's Wharton School. He authored a book about the power of generosity titled Give and Take, a Revolutionary Approach to Success. Professor Grant has assembled volumes of research on this subject and has conducted many studies himself, including one that showed salespeople who feel strongly about benefiting others generated 50% more revenue than their less caring counterparts. When leaders are generous with their time and support, says Grant, that behavior will, quote, cascade down levels and across regions of an organization, and the frequency and amount of helping and knowledge sharing among employees is a very important driver of lots of organizational performance metrics, from profitability and productivity to retention to customer satisfaction, unquote. He contends that generosity is the ultimate silo destroyer. CEOs who model it inspire that most elusive of goals, a workforce in which everyone develops everyone else. You might notice that these human attributes, which support the leadership process as discussed in Part 3, cannot be measured by mathematical formulas. Remember the IT factor from Part 1? These traits are a key component of the IT factor for carrying out the modern-day leadership role. John Gersema, our writer and corporate consultant from earlier, believes even CEOs with aggressive growth strategies, a traditionally masculine trait, can lead with feminine values. So long as founders are intent on building companies that endure and that always pay back to the people in and around them, these seemingly disparate traits are equally valuable and entirely complementary. He says, and I quote, "It's not about building bigger companies, but about serving something bigger. There's so much cynicism that people are out for short-term gain. Leadership today is about taking people into a better future. That's a long trip," unquote. For our part here at MarketingStrategyManagement.com, we believe it takes a well-rounded individual to nurture the one and only desirable outcome of the 4 possible outcomes discussed in Part 3. It's called a win-win scenario.